Mr. Sheng Ning, Economic and Commercial Counselor from the People's Republic of China, Embassy to Zimbabwe, Mr. Huawei, Managing Director of Huawei Technologies Private Limited, Professor Rosemary Moyana, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs, staff of Huawei Technologies, the Registrar, Dr. Noam Tongoreni, Mr. Edward Yamini, the Besa, the Librarian, Dr. Agnes Chikonzo. Congratulations. Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Maud Mchuete. I was used to saying Mrs. Chikonzo. And other deans of faculties and directors of institutes, chairpersons of departments, University of Zimbabwe staff, and our esteemed students, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am very humbled and pleased to be here at this very important occasion. As you know, our national strategic intent is to rise to an upper middle income economy by 2030. But the national strategic intent has to be achieved through a national capability. And that national capability can only be coming from our universities, higher and tertiary institutions to be complete. But our curriculum is also to have an appropriate design so that it is able to deliver the capability, and the capability is able to deliver a national strategic intent. I hope I am very clear. You can have an intention, but if you don't have the capability and you don't have a correct design to achieve that capability, it ends up being talk, 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 and talk. So we are definitely tired of talking. We are looking at an outcome-based higher and tertiary education system. That system that gives us a product, not just an education for decoration and status. So we are thinking big. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, understanding phenomena is the most important aspect that our education must give. And this comes from both imagination and tacit knowledge. Remember, I'm not using the word logic. Logic takes you from A to B. Imagination takes you everywhere. This is Albert Einstein. And we need to have our hands on the deck, our minds in the sky, our hands on the deck, together making it. Being exposed to phenomena like what is happening with this gesture from Huawei Technologies and the People's Republic of China not only jogs our imagination, but it improves our understanding. Understanding is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Understanding is everything. Understanding comes from exposure. I want to say, knowing is not a problem. Any fool can know. Understanding is the issue. Remember, imagination is the most powerful tool that pushes forward humanity. And of all the frictions that occur in human life, ignorance is the one monster friction that stops the advancement of humanity. We therefore are very grateful to Huawei Technologies for this kind gesture that will build both our imagination and tacit knowledge, destroying ignorance. They say the only thing which is more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. But ignorance and arrogance together just create a chaotic world. Ladies and gentlemen, We are in an era of education 5.0, which basically gives us a movement from idea to product, from idea to product, moving through the innovation system to manufacturing, where universities are expected to take the center stage for the modernization, industrialization agenda as it moves from idea to product. Education 3.0, which is teaching, research, and community service, has its constraints as it does not move from idea to product. So, why do we have to move from that education 3.0 to 5.0? Somebody said, if you look along a road, you look in front, you don't like what you see. You look backwards, you don't like what you see. Create a new path. So we are creating a new path whereby wealth creation will happen at universities. Remember, Silicon Valley is a product of Stanford University. This partnership and donation from Huawei Technologies and the People's Republic of China reinforces our efforts to becoming a true partner and a true all-weather friend in Southern Africa. We are indeed grateful that this donation comes when we have changed course. We are charting a new path. We cannot have 94% literacy and still be in poverty. There must be something wrong with that design. So we looked at the design, and that design is Education 5.0. Huawei has been able to make the world a better place through its imagination, and the imagination of men and women at Huawei, and understanding of frequencies. I was reading one of Albert Einstein's sayings when he was saying, you know the future medicine? It's in frequencies. If you know the correct frequency, you will heal anything. Because ourselves, we are just frequencies, which are just slowed down into some lumps of flesh. But basically, I believe we are frequencies. Understand frequencies, you understand the world. And thanks to Huawei technology, I'm happy you are moving to 5G and leading by example. As early as the late 1800s, Nikola Tesla had already said, 1800s, remember, 1800s is far. It will soon be possible to transmit wireless messages around the world so simply that any individual can carry and operate his own apparatus. This person was born in 1856 and died in 1943. Huawei is now on the leading edge on this one as we live today. We have created innovation hubs at our institutions. Innovation hubs are not buildings, they are ideas. The only thing is that the ideas have to have somewhere where they are taught. Remember, the University of Zimbabwe the buildings can easily be used as a military barrack or as anything. It becomes a university because of the people that are here, because of the ideas that are here. But remember, that building is not going to be used for teaching. It is for innovation, for ideas that have graduated already from the laboratory, so that we are on our path to industrialization. Remember, when you look ahead of you and you don't like what you see, and you look backwards and you don't like what you see, chart a new path and follow it. Our innovation hubs are spaces that we create new ideas to launch and make higher education serve the greater good. Remember, your worth is seen by serving others, but not serving just yourself. We therefore thank Huawei most sincerely that it is serving others, and I urge the University of Zimbabwe to utilize this partnership to move forward and give hope to the world at large. Remember, universities must lead innovation and industrialization. We cannot, when we are actually the ones who are expected to lead industrialization, you finish your degree and you look for a job. Job from who? Born by who? Basically means our education is to give rise to industry. That's why we say Education 5.0. Let's talk deep. Let's not be superficial. Jobs don't rain. Even rain rains because it roused, it condensed, it's raining. So look at the origin of things. If you want to move Zimbabwe from this vortex of going from 0 to 360 to 0 to 360, we are moving forward, straighten the path. Industry is created through universities, not through anything else. I am looking forward that in 2 weeks' time, we are starting building the industrial park of the University of Zimbabwe at the university farm, meaning that we are going to have ICT hubs there and manufacture of other goods that are coming from the ideas. I was very happy that the exhibition of the University of Zimbabwe was number 2 at Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, actually showing that you are very serious about product development. Only that on the design of the stand, we beat you as a ministry. We did not beat you as in terms of ideas. It was just the way the stand looked. It looked fine. Remember the good example set by Stanford University and the birth of Silicon Valley. Remember that Huawei technology is where it is because of men and women of imagination and intellect. I want to finish by saying, if Y or if success is equals to A, therefore success is equals to X plus Y plus Z, where X is hard work, Y is focus, happiness and respect, and Z is keep your mouth shut, let the results speak. Siyabonga ndathethwa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those remarks and the challenge. You continues challenging. If anyone does not know what Education 5.0 is, I think this is the time you can leave. You can pretend that you are just going maybe to the gents or to the ladies, and we will actually totally exonerate you. Thank you very much for those remarks. Another fact on Huawei. Huawei partners with universities, right? What we have today is not a partnership. It's an intent to partnership. When they really partner us, we are actually going to be causing Huawei products to be the result of what we actually go ahead and do in the laboratories. So I think this is a real challenge to Faculty of Science and the Faculty of Engineering and all the other faculties, Faculty of Arts included. With your program, I saw the Dean really smiling when he was mentioned in the speech there. I think it's a real challenge for us to really move from being a recipient of fantastic equipment to actually go ahead and cause new equipment to actually go ahead and be manufactured by Huawei. At this juncture, since I come from the University of Zimbabwe, but I come also from a Faculty of Science, I am going to call upon my Dean, the Dean of Faculty of Science, Professor Mchweti, to come and give us a vote of thanks. Professor Mchweti.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. The Honorable Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Dr. Aman Mawira, Honorable Minister of Information Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Mr. Kazembe Kazembe, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Fanuel Tagwira, the Economic Counselor of the Chinese Embassy, Mr. Chen Ning, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, Professor Paul Mapumo, the Managing Director of Huawei Technologies Zimbabwe, Mr. Hao Wen, the Pro Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs, Professor Rosemary Moyana, the Registrar, Dr. Noah Mtongoreni, the Librarian, Dr. Agnes Chikonzo, the Besa, Mr. Edward Ramini, my colleague, the Dean of Engineering, Dr. Hudson Amakurira, staff of Huawei Technologies, deans of other faculties and directors of institutes present, chairpersons of departments, members of staff, students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I feel honored and humbled, at the same time excited, to stand before you today to give the vote of thanks to this momentous occasion, the handover of ICT equipment to the University of Zimbabwe by Huawei Technologies, the big boys, serious boys, I call it. Giving vote of thanks can feel like a simple thing. It's not that simple. Yes, there's the thank you, I've always said. The thank you that we just say like we are programmed. We have the thank you that we are reminded to say. Auntie say, mom will say, go and say thank you to Auntie. Then we have the thank you that we write. After you constructed your letter, just say thank you, we are programmed. Then there is this thank you that comes from the heart, not the 5 senses. If it comes from the 5 senses, there can be negotiation amongst the 5 senses, and you know what happens with negotiations. When it comes from the heart, you can actually lose a heartbeat. At that point, you can even die. I'm sorry, I didn't die, but I lost a heartbeat. Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we had the commitment to academic cooperation between Zimbabwean universities and Huawei Technologies by the Economic Counselor of the Chinese Embassy. Say, we heard our voice crying in the wilderness and decided to love the university with passion and realized the need for this valuable cooperation. We thank you for the magnanimous support. The Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Dr. Aman Mawira, gave a passionate speech emphasizing on the responsibility of the ministry in the formulation and implementation of policies related to skills training and development, and the promotion of science and technology and innovation, which is the best and sure way of making ourselves survive beyond our tombstones. Since we are just holding this country in trust for future generations. Many thanks, Honorable Minister, for your heartfelt and inspiring speech, emphasizing on Zimbabwe Education 5.0. And Director of Ceremonies, he said, if you are not aware of this Zimbabwe Education 5.0, you are free to walk out, but I didn't see anyone walking out, meaning that we have fully embraced the Zimbabwe Education 5.0 at UZ. The Honorable Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Kazembe, passionately expressed the crucial need of improving and promoting the use of information and communication technology in the transformation of our economy. Many thanks, Honorable Minister, for your wistful oration. The Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Mapfumo, articulated the long overdue need for this ICT training equipment that will greatly enhance and improve our students' employability. Minister, I'm talking of employability. We are moving away from using that word for becoming employers by qualifying them for enterprises with world-class technical competence. His vision, interest, encouragement, wise counsel, and support has culminated into these success stories we are gathered here for today. Acting Vice Chancellor, you guided us in the right direction. Your 110% support to this partnership is greatly appreciated. Mr. Huawei, Managing Director of Huawei Technologies, emphasized on the need to use ICT equipment to cultivate ICT talents and help ICT candidates to improve hands-on practice skills. Huawei Technologies provided most of the financial resources for organizing this ceremony, which ensures its smooth running. I wish to thank them for their assistance and acknowledge the support rendered by their Managing Director, Mr. Huawei. You deserve congratulations for a job well done. Let me assure all that the state-of-art ICT equipment that has been provided by the Serious Boys will enable us to effectively embrace Zimbabwe Education 5.0 and Industrialization 4.0, where we now have cyber physical systems, smart technologies, where we now have Internet of Things, Internet of Services, Internet of Data. The equipment will be put to good use in providing internationally certified skills in ICT to our students and trainees that will transform them into world-class graduates and professionals. We are excited to be the first university in Zimbabwe to offer the prestigious Huawei Certified Network Graduate Certification. We now feel like eagles. We can now fly beyond the clouds. In addition, Huawei Technologies have today brought to USEC their ICT roadshow, where they will be demonstrating and sharing with us some of their latest innovative solutions in the network, enterprise, devices, and ICT spaces. What we will see today will be indeed a good sign for the future of ICT in this country. Let me express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to our 4 invited guests for sparing their precious time and leaving their workstation to be with us today. Can I kindly ask you all to give them a rousing applause?